We started off in January, and it was very funny. Our chairman at the time was Anthony Malloy, who was the All-Ireland winning captain of 1992. He's also now our local county councillor since last Friday. But he always said that people got sort of depressed in January of the year, so he decided that January was a good time to do something, but not really at the early part of it because people had no money. So we decided in the last week in January having a country and western festival. Now, at a time it was the new idea, country and western jiving wasn't happening that much in the early 2000s, but I mean we had fantastic years with this. So we brought huge numbers into our town for the last week in January. Then in February we always tried to do something around Valentine. In March we always had St. Patrick's Day, and we have a walking festival, a very, very well recognised walking festival. And then we had the parades on St. Patrick's Day. Well, we never did it on St. Patrick's Day, we always did it on the closest Sunday. And there was a logic in that as well, because everybody went to the big towns again for St. Patrick's, but we got very good results out of the days that they weren't there. Then we went for Easter, was always a good time in April. In May we had the Cup of Tea Festival, which is a traditional Irish music festival, probably one of the most successful of its type in Ireland. And then in June we had one where we had a lot of non-nationals coming into the area working in the bakery, and to try and integrate them on the basis that we felt that Irish, maybe long ago going abroad, were never very well made welcome. We thought we'll welcome these people, so we had a festival called the Melting Pot Festival, where we brought in all the cultures from Hungary and Poland and all the different countries that have come here to work in the bakery, and we sort of had a weekend of their type of music, their type of drink, their type of food. Worked very effectively for a number. We ran it for 10 years. Now, it came to an end 2 years ago, mainly because of the people running it had moved on. The bakery people have integrated very well into our community. They're playing Gaelic football, they're playing music, they're in score, they're doing all the things that are part of our community. So it served its purpose. Now we call it a Summer Lights Festival. We replaced it with that, and that's one that sort of looks at baking and the whole theme, Breezy Willows idea about baking bread for priests. We're doing something like that. Breezy's not involved this year, but last year very much she did the baking bread for peace. But it's focused on people's ability, the young people's ability to cook. Maybe it was a sort of a modern theme with the old traditions. So we have a competition running there on the Saturday, and was very successful. And then we had an oyster day where we cooked the oysters, and because we have a lot of oysters in this area and that type of fish, seafood type of idea. Then that's June. July always felt should look after itself with visitors, but in saying that, we now developed a bluegrass festival in the middle of July. August is the show day in Ardra, which is a big event in Ardra, the traditional big event, one of the biggest shows in the country. And then September we had the Johnny Doherty weekend, which was a weekend of traditional type music, but bringing in the big names like we had Sherry the Lady and Alton, and people like that would come for that weekend. Very much based with the Scottish Bank Holiday weekend, so the Scottish people came in very big numbers to that one. October then we had Halloween, and November we had the matchmaking, and Christmas came in December. So that was our year. Now the main focus of that is that we never tried to, seldom overlapped. The people that came to the country and western had no interest in traditional music or in walking or in cooking or in blues music, so we had allowed a different type of people to come all the time, which was not coming out of the one pool. And that's very effective, a lot more effective than people would realise. Even people in this town don't appreciate how significant that is, because that gives, but it also does things like people who came to festivals in January would say, God, I'd like to come back there in the summer and we get a massive result of that in the summertime. Well, our big project now is that we want to see the distillery develop We see a massive tour. Like, I would have been a serious, strong advocate that the distillery should have been built in Carrick beside Slieve League. It was the perfect place for it. Everything was right about it. You come down the mountain from climbing Slieve League and you had the distillery at the bottom. The opportunities that were being made available by the proposers in relation to having a helicopter pad there for the community in there, that if anybody got sick, there was a helipad available to take them out of a periphery area. I was so strong, and as a community person in this area would have advocated very strongly that this was where the distillery should be. But sadly, because of problems in that area, it wasn't to be. So then the decision was that the sponsors, the main investors, had made a decision: we're getting out of Donegal. It's not a place to work, too much objection, too much problems. And then I sort of was, maybe when I was Donegal Person of the Year, where I'd sort of met the proposers and they had told me their concern, and I said, look, please stick with it. But then they told me they were moving to another county where they'd been offered all the facilities they wanted. I thought, geez, we can't let it leave Donegal. So then, this is where the community spirit came in again. They came here, looked at it, found the people warm and welcoming, and then decided, but where are we going to get a field that would suit, or a facility, a site? And then a very good friend of mine who came along, who absolutely went out on a limb to create the environment and the facility, for certainly no personal gain, absolutely a major loss in my opinion, but decided, I want this for the well-being of the future of my children and the community, and made a fantastic site available. And that's where we're at here today, and that's why the proposers are very thankful, and that's what makes Ardra. It's that, again, in another way, it's the community spirit of people working to get the best result. The distillery will be major because I think it actually will link in now very well with Slieve League, because I think the circle would be people who are staying in Donegal or Bundoran and will come into Slieve League, will come round then by Ardra into back to Donegal or Letterkenny or wherever they may be going. So it's going to be a strategic point on the tourism trail. The fact that I'm very thankful for the County Council officials, and particularly Paul Kelly and Frank Sweeney and Liam Ward and these guys that are really great help to us, to me in particular. They want to see a renewal, so in this town, rapid renewal scheme. We have to apply for it. We may not get it, but we will prepare the environment, and we'll prepare everything we can and present it as best we can. And with that, I want to sort of develop a town park, a walkway up along the river, a walkway across the river to the distillery, and the distillery people are going to make available of almost 2 acres of land for a town park, for maybe tennis court, maybe outdoor bowling, maybe walkways, maybe seating area. So that's all part of the application for their planning. So that would be a great achievement. And then if we could get all the town centre buildings regenerated and bring people back into it, that would be our plan. And that would be, when we have that done, I would be retiring. So that's it.